Today, we're covering the first video in our new mini-series, the first 3 things that I would do if I'd been told that I couldn't get a mortgage. Now, if you don't know who I am, and you may be thinking, who is this guy and why is he telling me about mortgages? My name's Josh, I'm the Managing Director of My Mortgage Finder. We specialise in helping people with non-perfect credit get mortgages, and we arrange about £100 million worth of them every single year. So let's jump into the first thing that I would do if I'd been told I couldn't get a mortgage, and that is I would get a second and I would get a third opinion, ideally from somebody that specialises in the area that I need help with the most. But what do I mean by this? Let me explain properly. So when most people have been told that they can't get a mortgage, this is normally down to something very specific that the mortgage lender hasn't liked. Let me give you some of the most common examples that we see. Obviously bad credit, perhaps unusual employment type. For example, dentists, they get paid quite differently from other employment types. Perhaps the visa could be an issue as well. Or perhaps the age could be an issue. For example, if people are applying for a mortgage over the age of 55, that can cause a problem as well. So if one of these things or something quite similar resulted in me being told that I couldn't get a mortgage, the first thing that I would be thinking about is, how did I try and get this mortgage and who did I try and get it from? Did I try and do this myself, or did I go direct to the lender? And what I mean by direct to the lender, maybe if I bank with NatWest, did I approach NatWest directly? Did I perhaps try and use a fee-free broker that maybe tries to do a little bit of everything but doesn't necessarily specialise in one specific thing? Did you maybe just use the first mortgage advisor that was recommended to you by a friend or a family member? Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong if you've tried any of these things. However, in my experience, you're going to have a much higher chance of success if you actually work with a mortgage broker or advisor who specialises in the area that you need help in the most and who actually works on those type of applications day in, day out. So if you have been told that you can't get a mortgage, go and get that second and third opinion, ideally from somebody who actually works in the area that you need help with the most. And fingers crossed, they'll actually be able to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you've got that second and third opinion, but unfortunately right now it's not meant to be for you. So the next thing that I would do is I would look at the very specific problem that is stopping me from getting that mortgage right now. Once I know what that problem is, I would create a plan that I can measure, perhaps monthly or weekly, that I will know will fix the problem. So here are some of the most common examples that we see. Number 1, obviously, my credit is just too bad right now. 2, I don't have enough deposit. 3, I can't borrow enough money to buy the home that I want. 4, I have too much unsecured debt, and that could either be the total amount of debt that you have or the amount it equates to every single month. And number 5, I'm not eligible to get a mortgage right now because of the visa that I'm on. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail right now on how you can fix these specific problems, and that's because we are going to be covering these in future videos within the mini-series. However, what I will say is whatever the problem is, you do need to be able to create a very clear and measurable plan that you can monitor. And what I mean by measurable is you must be able to see the progress that you're making and whether things are either going in the wrong direction or the right direction. If it's going in the wrong direction, you clearly need to change something and tweak the plan. If things are going in the right direction, that's perfect, and it's going to keep the motivation there to keep continuing to achieve that goal. Stick to the plan and fix the problem, and you'll be able to buy the home of your dreams. Now, if you do need help creating a plan, that is actually something that we can help you with as well. So feel free to get in touch with us. You can pop a comment if you need some help, or maybe even better, send us an email. That will be in the description below, and you can get in touch that way. So now that I've got my plan in place and I can see the progress that I'm making every week or every month, the third and final thing that I would do is that I make sure that my housekeeping is in check. What do I mean by this? Well, there are going to be very basic things that all mortgage lenders want to see before approving your mortgage application. So it's really important that you stay on top of these things. No more new bad credit. Do not miss any more payments. If you've set up your plan as you should have done, this will take into account any previous bad credit that you've got. And that's fine as long as no more occurs. If it does, it could potentially scupper your mortgage plans. So download a copy of your credit report, check it once a month, make sure all of your payments are set up on direct debits, and just make sure that you stay on top of those payments. Try and leave some surplus money left over at the end of each month. Mortgage lenders really like to see that you're not living beyond your means. So a good way to demonstrate this, leave some money left over so it shows that you would have money there to pay for your new mortgage. This is going to be even more important if you're not paying for rent right now. For example, maybe if you're living at home with your parents, if you could set aside an amount of money every single month that is equivalent to your future mortgage payment, that is just going to demonstrate to the mortgage lender that you can afford the mortgage as things are, and that's going to be an absolute game changer. Be mindful of any erratic spending, for example, gambling. The odd bet here or there isn't going to cause too much of a problem, but if it's anything much more than that, and it's consistent and a regular pattern, then it really can become a big problem for a lot of lenders. Also, overspending on things like your credit cards or just an over-reliance on credit itself can be a sign that you are living beyond your means, so I would really try and keep this to a minimum. So there you have it. Let's just quickly recap. Number one is get a second or a third opinion from somebody that specializes in the area that you need help with the most. Number two, identify the main problem that you're having and create a measurable plan so you can monitor your progress. And number three, stay on top of your housekeeping. Obviously, if you do have any questions or if you actually need help creating that plan that we've discussed today, feel free to comment below. Alternatively, you can send us an email and the email address is also in the description below. So thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications for more tips on bad credit and all things bad credit related, and we will see you in the next video.